We're just back from the Fraud Leader Summit in London, where we spent 2 days with fraud specialists from banks, telecoms, and retail. Very timely, given our most recent newsletter on fraud in relation to AI. And our analysis remains true. The gap between deploying AI fraud tools and understanding the decisions they make isn't technological, it's organizational. I'm Allegra, CTO and co-founder of Lumiera, and I'm joined today by Emma Muller, Lumiera's CEO and founder. Hi, Emma.
Hi, Allegra.
So walk me through what's actually happening. How is AI changing the fraud landscape?
Yeah, so since a quite long time, actually, AI is being used on both sides of fraud. So it's being used by attackers and defenders. Both sides are getting more sophisticated. So on the attack side, fraudsters are scaling operations that used to need specialized skills that they are now compensating for with Gen AI. For example, ChatGPT is being used for convincing phishing emails. We also see AI-generated documents bypass KYC systems, know your customer systems. This scale is something that we haven't seen before.
And what about on the defense side?
47% of businesses in the payments industry use AI for fraud detection, according to a report by Stripe, the payments company. And banks have for a long time used machine learning for transaction fraud, because when you make a transaction, essentially the only thing that you need to know as a bank in order to accept the transaction is to answer the question, is this fraud or not? When it comes to telecoms, they are analyzing millions of calls real time with the help of AI, and retailers are looking at behavioral analytics.
Got it. And we mentioned organizational gaps at the beginning of this, organizational, not technical. What do we mean by that?
A pattern that we saw at the summit and that we're also seeing in the work that we do with our clients is that organizations are comfortable when it comes to using AI to, for example, flag suspicious activity for human review. But they are also deeply uncomfortable with AI making automatic decisions because there's a sense of losing control. And if you don't know what you're outsourcing to AI it's not a matter of technical capability, it's a matter of governance, actually.
So why is AI literacy so important for executives specifically?
Yeah, as I mentioned, AI is not just an analytical tool when it comes to fraud, it's automated decision making. And when you are deploying AI for fraud detection, you are actually delegating authority. You are saying that this system will decide what to block and who to flag.
So what does that actually look like in practice?
Yeah, so we essentially have three factors that we can look at. We have decision boundaries. What is AI deciding autonomously and what needs human oversight? We have risk calibration being the second factor. So AI fraud detection is probabilistic and not binary. So therefore you need acceptable false positive rates. And then third, it's a matter of explainability as well. So can your team explain how and why, not just in technical terms, but also in business terms? So not having it's because the model said so, but more because we have these interests that we are protecting, these are the problems that we're looking to solve, and these are the levels that we are comfortable with, and this is the reasoning behind it.
Okay, so that's what it looks like when an organization has a sort of governance discipline and AI literacy. What happens when they don't have that literacy?
Yes. And the most critical thing here is when something goes wrong and you have different teams blaming each other, essentially. So the fraud team can blame AI and saying that it was the AI's decision. We all know that that is not proper ownership. And the executives are actually claiming that they trusted the experts or the fraud team or the technical team. And when that happens, no one can explain how a decision was made and who authorized it. And it's still your organization and the reputation of your organization that has to carry that.
And how does the concept of trust fit into all of this?
Yes, trust is becoming increasingly important. It's always been important for businesses, but now it's a matter of really having a competitive advantage in this landscape because customers are facing AI-enabled scams at a scale that we haven't seen before. We have voice cloning, we have deep fakes, and we have really sophisticated phishing attacks as well. Organizations that are deploying AI in an opaque way or blocking legitimate transactions, for example, that is also eroding trust because ultimately the customer experience is not good.
Thank you. Thank you for all of these helpful insights. And to read more about AI and fraud, and if your defense strategy needs an upgrade, check out our most recent newsletter on the Lumiera Loop, our Substack, and we'll see you soon. Thank you.
Thank you, Allegra.